Politics is a very interesting game. President Uhuru Kenyatta promised to support his deputy, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto, for the presidency in 2022. But from all indications, the president is determined to ensure that his deputy is kept very far away from the presidency in 2022. And instead, the president is working round the clock to ensure that his main opponent in 2013 and 2017, who happens to be Raila Odinga, will be declared the next president of the Republic of Kenya. But the president is facing some challenges. The first challenge the president is facing is that his party, Jubilee Party, is currently not the former Jubilee it used to be. He's trying to rebrand it, but there's that challenge. Jubilee Party is not as strong as it used to be. The second challenge for the president is that Raila Odinga and his former NASA co-principals have actually fallen out. The original idea of the president was simple. Have NASA united. Of course, he told them to unite. Then come on board with Jubilee and KANU, and then form a formidable force. But NASA co-principals, as things stand today, are divided. The third challenge the president is facing is that his deputy, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto, is actually also determined to ensure that he is declared the president of the Republic of Kenya in 2022. So in this video today, I want to get into Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta's strategy for super alliance, which they hope will actually send the deputy president home in 2022. And for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. What we do on this channel is very simple. We analyze politics in a way you can't find any other place. So this is the place where you can get this kind of analysis. So please, we want to reach 150,000. So just click that subscribe button now. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your support. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to drop your comments. Now, let us get back to the main issue. It's now clear that the president is not going to support his deputy. That's concluded. It is also very clear that the president is determined in supporting Raila Odinga. That's also concluded. But it's also clear that there are forces who are pushing for Musalia Mudavadi, Kalonzo Musyoka, or Gideon Moi, One Kenya Alliance movement. That's not concluded. But the president is very keen. He's very silent, of course, and that should worry the DP. In fact, I need to do a video why President Uhuru Kenyatta's silence should worry the DP. But behind the scenes, President Uhuru Kenyatta has been working so hard to craft an alliance which can send William Samoei Ruto home first round in 2022. Let me break down for you the strategy of the president. Grab some popcorns. Kama una popcorns, chukua glass ya water. Then listen. Now, this is the president. This was original president's strategy. His strategy was simple. When he entered into the handshake, of course, things have really changed. When he entered into the handshake with Raila Odinga, his strategy was simple. That Raila Odinga had the numbers, or has the numbers, based on the fact that even his own win was contested. Then he only needed to deliver a small percentage to Raila Odinga. But immediately the handshake took place, William Samoei Ruto noted something. And he went outside there and he campaigned President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. By the time they were realizing, the deputy president had actually made serious inroads. He had consolidated central Kenya, the deputy president had consolidated Rift Valley, and the deputy president was now focusing his efforts in the larger coastal region and Western Kenya. So the president and Raila Odinga realized that late. But the president is working on something. The first thing which the president is doing is to craft regional parties. Regional parties in the sense that a place like northeastern Kenya, for example, northern Kenya, that's a region. Northern Kenya, the president is doing what is calling UPIA. There's an UPIA movement. This UPIA movement covers several tribes. There's the Borana in it, there's the Somali in it, there's the Rendile in it, there is the Turkana in it. Now, this movement is supposed to consolidate those regions. Because if those regions are not consolidated well, then those regions can easily vote for the deputy president. So that's the strategy. So the regions now will have several counties like Isiolo, you have Marsabit, you have Moyale, you have Garissa, you have Tana River, you have Mandera, you have Turkana. If those places are not well consolidated, they can easily slip to William Ruto's side. The president, in his own wisdom, has realized that the best strategy is to have this region and others have their own identity. So they are identifying themselves as UPIA movement. Then you go to, for example, places like Meru, even Central, we are likely to see emergence of regional leaders. So the idea of these regional parties is basically to create regional leaders. Take a good example of the coastal region. In the coast is ODM zone, but there's element of Amason Kingi. There's those who are not comfortable with Raila Odinga. These ones will also be allowed, but through their own political parties, so that if Kingi were to be left out, he would go to Ruto. So the only way to stop him from going to Ruto is to ensure that he's allowed to do whatever he's doing. Then he will be consolidated under his party, but under the umbrella party. The idea of the president was simple, that he was going to have ODM and Jubilee have a merger kind of talks or agreement. Once the two parties merge, then these small parties can be brought on board through a super alliance. So that's the first strategy. Regional leaders, they are being created. They are going to be made powerful. Once that's done, then he's going to craft number two, a super alliance and the vehicle. So they are going to form what is already known as the Azimio la Umoja movement. That's the vehicle which is going to be umbrella. So ODM will be a small party. ODM will be a party within the Azimio movement. Ford Kenya is going to join as a party, for example. We are going to have these other small parties. People like Liki Nyanjui have their own political parties. The idea behind these guys having their own political parties is also very simple. There are regions where Raila Odinga is not the preferred. ODM party might not easily win. So in those regions, they're going to sponsor these parties. Then those parties will be able to win seats, and then those, as they win the seats, then they can campaign on under those parties, but the presidential candidate is under Azimio. So the idea is to form a vehicle or a coalition name like NASA, for example, but in this case, it's going to be Azimio la Umoja. Then these other political parties are going to form behind them. The third strategy is zoning. The truth of the matter is that our politics is tribal. That's the truth of the matter. So Raila, Uhuru, Gideon Moi, Kalonzo Musyoka, Musalia Mudavadi might be out of it. Now, those gentlemen are going to zone the regions so that a place like Ukambani, they can say, let's have a Wiper there, unopposed. A place like Nyanza, let's say you have ODM. A place like Central, let's say we have this particular party. So once they zone, because the zoning will also be done scientifically so that they'll know where they are strong, where even if they have 3 candidates from other political parties running, won't affect them. Once they've done the zoning, then the president and Raila Odinga will then go and consolidate. The other strategy, which is number 4, is what they were trying to do in parliament today. They're trying to amend the Political Parties Act. Political Parties Act is actually making it very difficult for other parties to work with as a coalition. You see, in the last election, for example, ODM was the party which sponsored a candidate, but we had NASA coalition. So instead of NASA coalition sponsoring a presidential candidate, it was ODM sponsoring a presidential candidate. Personally, I have a problem with that. If it's a coalition, let coalition have their own umbrella. Because in the last election, for example, I remember Ford Kenya, Wiper were claiming that ODM was able to win more seats because they were the people who produced a presidential candidate. Those kinds of complaints will not arise if, for example, they just agree that NASA was the umbrella body, then Ford Kenya has his own structures, campaigns, ODM, and these other ones. So the Political Parties Act currently makes it very difficult for someone to identify with the other party. In fact, it states that, number 1, you can be kicked out of a political party if you advocate for formation of another political party. For example, Uhuru Kenyatta can easily kick out William Ruto from Jubilee, because Jubilee is the party which sponsored them, but the DP is advocating for UDA. So that's one ground. If you advocate for formation of another party, then if you also promote the ideology and the policies of another party, like Aisha Jumwa is in ODM, but advocating for the ideology of UDA, then you can easily be kicked out. So members, with the amendment they are proposing, it means if you are a member of Ford Kenya, Wiper, then you can easily now associate with the coalition, which is NASA, for example, because NASA will just be the umbrella body. And this is actually intended, whatever is going to happen or is happening in parliament today is actually intended to facilitate the crafting of a super alliance by President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Amolo Odinga. And lastly is the joint campaigns. And this is where the DP is going to find it very rough. Let me just ask you a simple question today. And I'll need the answer from mostly those who support the DP. Assuming William Ruto takes a break from politics for 2 weeks. Just think. Assuming the DP takes a break from politics for 2 weeks. What do you think will happen? Will his team be able to sustain the momentum? That's what President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga are working on. To an extent that if Raila is not there, someone like Hassan Joho can take over. Someone like Ongwae can take over. Ongwae and the rest can form a team which can campaign. People like Lik Nyanjui, like I just saw Peter Kenneth in Meru holding a successful rally. That cannot be said of the DP. William Ruto's camp lacks people who can actually stand on their own. The other day I was reading a very interesting article that the deputy president is so popular in the larger Mount Kenya region to an extent that most aspirants there also assume that the support enjoyed by the president, by the deputy president in that region is actually transferable to them. So they're just relaxing. And, you know, that joint campaign is very difficult. Raila, Uhuru, Joho, Ongwae, the Upia guys, Peter Munya, you know, Amason Kingi, those guys will be able to comp the country through joint campaigns in different regions. So basically they can decide to form 4 groups, each campaigning separate regions. I don't know what you think. That's my take. If you're watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or 2, click the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is today. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.